This is exactly where our story begins, in a small town where two girls, Aisha and Mehr, grew up side by side, but lived in two very different shadows. Aisha was the kind of girl people noticed instantly. She was confident, charming, and carried herself like she belonged in every spotlight. Teachers admired her, classmates wanted to be around her, and whenever there was a celebration, she was the first one called on stage. Even strangers would compliment her beauty and smile. Wherever she went, the world seemed to applaud. Mehr, on the other hand, was the quiet one. She wasn't the girl everyone's eyes followed. She was hardworking, thoughtful, and always willing to help others. She had talents of her own, her soft singing voice, her love for books, and her big heart, but those gifts often went unnoticed. People rarely praised her. At school events, she stood in the background, clapping for Aisha like everyone else. And slowly, something dangerous began to grow in Mehr's heart. At first, it was just a passing thought, I wish I could be like her. But thoughts, when repeated, turn into feelings. Those feelings turned into jealousy. Every time the teacher praised Aisha, Mehr felt invisible. Every time classmates laughed at Aisha's jokes, Mehr wondered why no one paid attention to hers. She began comparing herself constantly, and in every comparison, she felt smaller. Jealousy is like a seed. If you water it with negative thoughts, it grows into a thorny vine that can wrap around your heart. That's exactly what was happening to Mehr. She began to distance herself from Aisha, giving her short replies, pretending she was busy, and secretly wishing Aisha would make mistakes. But here's the twist, Aisha had never treated Mehr badly. She shared her lunch, helped her with homework, and always greeted her with kindness. Yet, blinded by jealousy, Mehr couldn't see it. She didn't know that soon, life was about to put her heart to the ultimate test. The real test came on a blazing summer afternoon, when the town buzzed with excitement for its biggest annual cultural event. Stalls lined the streets, music filled the air, and families gathered in the town hall for the competitions. It was the day everyone looked forward to all year, where talents were displayed and stars were born. Of course, it came as no surprise when Aisha was chosen to represent the school in the singing competition. Her confidence, her charm, and her presence always drew attention. When the announcement was made, people clapped, and once again Mehr felt the familiar sting in her chest. She will shine again, and no one will even notice me, Mehr thought bitterly. But destiny had its own plan. Just minutes before her performance, disaster struck. Aisha's throat felt scratchy. She coughed once, then again, and when she tried to sing a few notes, nothing came out, only a broken whisper. Panic spread across her face. The confident, admired girl suddenly looked vulnerable and lost. The teachers rushed to her side, worried. "What do we do now?" they whispered. "We need someone else to perform." That's when someone suggested Mehr. She had a soft, beautiful voice, though few had ever heard it in public. Mehr's heart pounded. This was her chance, the stage, the lights, the audience, all the glory she had secretly dreamed of. As she stood backstage, ready to step forward, her eyes fell on Aisha. She was sitting alone in the corner, tears welling up in her eyes, clutching the microphone she could no longer use. For the first time, Mehr saw Aisha not as the perfect, untouchable star, but as a girl in pain. At that moment, jealousy and kindness fought inside Mehr's heart. One voice whispered, "This is your chance. Take it. Shine at last." The other voice whispered, "Don't forget, she has always been kind to you. Do you really want her to fall while you rise?" The hall grew restless. The announcer called for the performer to come forward. Mehr took a deep breath. Then, instead of walking alone to the stage, she turned to Aisha, held her trembling hand, and whispered softly, "We'll do this together." The audience held its breath as Mehr and Aisha walked onto the stage hand in hand. Nobody knew what to expect. Some whispered in surprise, others leaned forward with curiosity. The spotlight shone brightly, and the hall fell silent. The music began. Mehr lifted the microphone and started to sing. Her voice, soft and pure, flowed like a gentle stream across the hall. Every note carried emotion, every word touched hearts. Meanwhile, Aisha, though unable to sing, stood beside her. She expressed the song through graceful hand movements and heartfelt expressions, becoming the soul of the performance. Together, they created something magical, a duet of voice and presence, of sound and silence. One gave her song, the other gave her spirit. It wasn't about who shone brighter, it was about how they shone together. When the performance ended, the audience erupted into thunderous applause. People stood to their feet, clapping and cheering. Teachers looked at each other with pride, and parents smiled with admiration. For the first time, Mare was not invisible. Her voice had reached every corner of the hall, and everyone recognized her talent. But what mattered most was not the applause. As the cheers filled the room, Aisha turned to Mare, her eyes shining with gratitude, and whispered, "Thank you for saving me. You were the true star today." In that single moment, Mare felt a wave of realization wash over her. Jealousy had blinded her for so long, making her believe she was less, making her compare endlessly. But the truth was clear now, her worth was never measured by others' attention. Her true strength was her kindness, her ability to lift someone else even when she could have stepped over them. From that day on, Mare never let jealousy poison her heart again. She learned to celebrate others' success without feeling smaller herself. Aisha, too, never forgot the hand Mare had offered her in her weakest moment. Their bond grew stronger than ever, not because of competition, but because of compassion. The story of Aisha and Mare spread throughout the town, reminding everyone of a powerful truth: jealousy may burn for a moment, but kindness leaves a light that never fades. So, whenever jealousy whispers in your ear, remember this: kindness will always make you shine in a way envy never can.